Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I always judge men by comparing them to my male alter ego. If I were a man, would I say or do this? The answer is almost always no. Hold men to the same standards you hold yourself. Some say it's an unfair expectation because I am picturing my male alter ego from a female perspective, whilst real men don't live life as a female under patriarchy and therefore do not have the insight I do. I don't buy this bullshit. It's common sense. The female perspective is widely available in the age of social media. Men simply never seek it out or take it into consideration. They would rather listen to male dating manipulation/abuse advice rather than women, you know? The people they're trying to date.
Hold yourself to the same standard you hold these men to. Like, your male alter ego, come the f*** on. Like, your male alter ego, okay, so the perfect man who does everything you want, always, because it's what you want, because it's your alter ego, it's what you want. Hold yourself to that same standard that you give them. Imagine yourself in their heads. What is their perfect woman? Why don't you try to be like that? Why is it that they have to concede to you? I'm not saying that anybody should have to be one specific thing or the other, but that's what a relationship is. It's compromise. That's the difference between men and women in those regards. Is yes, a man is different than a woman. You may think you can understand things from the male point of view, just like us men can try to understand it from the female point of view, but we'll never quite get it, and that's what you always preach. So, hold yourself to the same standard. Like, you're not perfect either, and neither am I, for each other. But that's why we have to compromise and like vocalize these things. You can't just expect somebody to read your mind and understand what you want because you haven't said it. I don't know what you want until you tell me. Yeah, if I could read your mind, then I would give you everything you wanted just to keep you satisfied, because that's all I ever want to do anyway, is keep people happy. So bing bang boom. But I can't unless you fucking tell me. And then you say, oh, well, you should know. Well, then you should know. You should know that I don't know and can't know. Like, why is it that I should have to know and you don't know?
This is also another thing when it comes to, like, relationships is communication. And that right there is where that comes into play. You can't read minds. I can't read what Dylan's thinking right now. I mean, we're on the same topic, but what he's about to spit out of his mouth, I can't just read his mind and know what he's going to say.
Well, I think that's a huge, like, difference, because at least it's kind of a stereotype with women where it's all like they'll get upset with you because you don't know, but they expect you to know. And that it comes with the communication thing, like you said. But, like, I think women have a big problem with that.
Well, okay, so we're going to go back to what you said there. I think it's, okay, because the thing with that one is going to be like the hints. They're like, oh, well, I've hinted at this enough. I've hinted at this way. And it's like, okay, I do the same thing, but I also understand that you may not recognize my hints, just like I don't recognize yours. You know, because one of the biggest things I've noticed between men and women is women get attention very easily, men do not. And that's just the way it is. You know, women are more sought after than men. You know, it just is how it is. It's how society works. You know, women, okay, for example, men, how often do you guys get compliments? How often do you guys get told that you look good?
Actually, I think this is an extreme, but actually quite a bit from, like, my kids and whatnot. So, but that's my family.
But yeah, and you're married. You're married.
Outside of that,
how often?
Well, I mean, besides myself. Like,
well,
never.
yeah, exactly. From nobody else do you get compliments unsolicited. You anytime you get a compliment, it's in response. It's like, oh, hey, you look good today, and they go, oh, you look good too.
Are you talking about ever or just like recently?
I'm talking about in general. You know, just overall when it comes to it. We don't get complimented as men. You know, like women will they'll post a selfie on Facebook or something, and bing bang boom, people, oh, you're so pretty, you're so this, you're so that. Guys, we post something and yeah, it gets likes and reacts, but nobody ever saying something to us that is like a positive affirmation. You know, like to make you feel good and have good self-esteem. And I think that's something that men are missing a lot in society. And I think, you know, just as women can say, like, oh, you know, like I'm not appreciated enough in this way or that way. Well, think about us. The only time we get thanked is whenever we have done something, either monetarily or like out of the extra. You know, we don't, you just get complimented for existing. We have to do something extra.
And this is where that lady's male alter ego is wrong, because that's not incorporated into that.
That's a great point. That's a very good point. I'm glad you said that. I needed to comment and say something. That was very necessary.
I'm in complete agreement. I'm in a complete agreement.
You ain't got nothing to argue with?
But you know,
I need to find something that we argue
once you have
about.
to make it known, once you say it, rather than it just happening organically, then no longer after that does it feel organic. Now it always feels like, okay, I had to say something first for that to even be a thought in your mind, which shows me exactly where everything stood in the beginning.
I think he stumped you, dude.
Well, I'm in a complete agreement, so it's not really much of a stump.
It's just, how do I reword it in a way that makes sense too?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like ultimately, I mean, it's the same thing as like getting people gifts. In my opinion, I think it's kind of in that same merit where it's like some people get wound up over what the value of the thing is, but they never stop to consider the fact that it's the consideration. It's the going out of your way and thinking of that person despite all else. You know, it's kind of like that. Like that gift is to show that despite everything going on in my life, I wanted to find time to give something to you. And I think that's what that really like shows.
Well, even a small gesture, you know, it's like those.
And not for anything in return, but for the fact to just give it to you.
Well, often like with you and me, you know, I'll wake up one day and you'll be like, hey, I got you an Oz, and I'll be like, bro, wow, yes, that's actually exactly what I want right now. Like, thank you for thinking of me, kind of thing. And we do that back and forth, where you know, you don't have to ask, but sometimes we just do it.